When I was a kid, my biggest dream wasn't to be a superhero or a famous singer. It was to climb a mountain. My childhood was exposed to nature, which my family took me to rice fields, and sometimes my teachers took us on trips to hills. But I had never truly hiked a mountain. For years, that dream felt impossible. But then everything changed. When I got to college, I finally found a group of friends who love hiking as much as I imagined it. And when they invited me to climb a mountain, I knew this was my change. At the moment, I said to myself, yes, I'm ready to finally fulfill my childhood dream, my hobby. The mountain we chose was Mount Lawu, located right between Central and East Java. At over 10,000 feet, it's one of the highest peaks in the region. And it's known for being a mystical place. The views are incredible, with a beautiful savanna and so much unique wildlife. At the beginning, I was only carrying a small bag with my personal items and sleeping bag, and my friends were doing all the heavy lifting. I tried to help for a bit, carrying one of their big backpack, but after just an hour, I was so slow. It made me realize just how much of a challenge this was going to be. We were on the mountain for about 3 days and 2 nights, and everything was running smoothly. On the first night, we stayed overnight at around 7,000 feet, enjoyed the sunset before we ate dinner, and got a little conversation before we slept. On the second day, we continued our hiking and we reached around 9,000 feet, our second camp area. Sadly, everything changed. After we finished building our tent, we were hit by an intense strong wind and the weather turned bad very quickly. I started to get a terrible stomach cramp. The wind was so powerful and it actually crushed our tent apart. We had to find a shelter, so we moved to a legendary warung boyam, a small house on top of the mountain, where they sell hot food and warm drinks. Because the weather was still bad and I was so sick, we all had to stay there overnight. It's still in my mind at the moment. I felt a real struggle, but I also felt safe and a real togetherness. I feel blessed by the next day I had recovered. We didn't give up. We decided to continue our climb to the top, which took about 1.5 hours. We walked slowly but surely and finally enjoyed the summit. And after that, we safely made our way back down the mountain. Looking back, I learned so many things on the first hike, but the most important lessons were not only about survival skills. I learned about the incredible support of my team. My friends took care of me when I was sick, carried my supplies, and constantly checked in to make sure I was okay. I also learned that it's not always about having the energy. Sometimes it's about having the motivation. Even when I was feeling weak, my determination to reach the top gave me the strength to keep going. It built a self-confidence that I didn't have before, a feeling that I can push through anything. That's the real lesson of the mountain. It will push you to your limits, but it will also show you how strong you truly are. Even though my first climb was full of challenge, it made me want to climb another mountain.